Some craft supplies feel like a luxury until you use them, and then you wonder how you ever made anything without them. These 40 are the ones that consistently earn back their cost through better results, fewer mistakes, and significantly less frustration. I'm giving you the specific brand, the approximate cost, and exactly why it's worth it. Number 1. Pellin 809 Decor Bond Sewing Interfacing. Pellin 809 Decor Bond is a heavyweight fusible interfacing, a stiff, non-woven material that irons onto the back of fabric to make it rigid and structured. It's the interfacing specifically used for tote bags, zippered pouches, fabric storage bins, and anything that needs to hold its shape without flopping. A yard of Pellin 809 runs $3 to $5 and transforms a limp fabric bag into a product that reads as professionally made. Beginners routinely underestimate how much structural interfacing changes the look of a sewn bag. Stocking up on a yard or two before starting a bag project is the most straightforward way to immediately improve the look of your handmade work. Number 2. Aurifil 50WT Cotton Thread. Aurifil 50WT cotton thread is the thread that experienced sewers and quilters consistently reach for when they want results that speak for themselves. It's a fine, 2-ply Egyptian cotton thread that produces almost invisible seam lines in quilting because the fine diameter sits inside the weave of the fabric rather than sitting on top of it. A large 1,300-meter spool runs $14 to $18, more than budget thread, but Aurifil's consistency, the minimal lint it leaves in your machine, and the strength of its fine ply make it the thread quilters and embroiderers treat as non-negotiable. The fine diameter also reduces the bulk at quilt seam intersections, making them easier to press flat and producing a more professional finished quilt. Number 3. Speedbell Professional Block Printing Ink. Speedbell Professional Water-Soluble Block Printing Ink is the standard choice for lino printing and relief printing on paper and fabric because it produces rich, opaque color in a single pass without the transparency problems of cheaper printing inks. An $8 to $12 tube is more expensive than budget alternatives, but a little goes a long way, and the consistency, neither too thick to spread evenly nor too thin to hold a clean edge, means fewer failed prints and less wasted material. For any maker who sells printed textiles or lino print stationery, the print quality directly affects whether buyers see professional work or homemade craft. Number 4. Ranger Distress Ink Pads Full Collection. Tim Holtz Ranger Distress Inks are a specifically formulated ink product, water-reactive dye inks that produce an aged, distressed appearance when sponged or stamped that have become foundational to the mixed media, journaling, and card-making communities. A single pad runs $6 to $8, a full collection covers over 80 colors. The water-reactive property is what makes distress inks worth every penny. They can be reactivated with water after drying, allowing blending and layering techniques that standard dye inks don't allow. The 80-color collection can be built gradually by purchasing individual pads in the shades most relevant to your specific project aesthetic. Number 5. Sennelier L'Aquarelle Watercolor Half Pans. Sennelier L'Aquarelle watercolors are professional-grade French watercolor formulation produced using honey as a binding agent rather than standard gum arabic, which gives the dried paint an unusually quick re-wet response when touched with a wet brush. A set of 24 half pans runs $65 to $80, a significant investment. The payoff is twofold. The honey binder makes the pigment extremely fluid when activated, producing the luminous washes that define professional watercolor, and the pigment concentration is high enough that a single half pan lasts months of regular use at full intensity. A starter set of 8 to 12 colors covers the full mixing range while keeping the entry cost manageable for makers new to professional watercolor. Number 6. Artisan Whisk Silicone Molds, Resin Jewelry. The Artisan Whisk brand of professional-grade silicone molds used for resin casting jewelry, keychains, coasters, and small decorative pieces are worth the premium over budget molds because the silicone's shore hardness and the surface quality of the mold interior directly affect the surface quality of every cast piece. Budget molds often have seam lines, textured interiors from poor surface finishing, or insufficient shore hardness that causes them to collapse under the weight of epoxy pores. Artisan whisk molds produce glass-smooth interiors, maintain their shape under large pores, and release cured resin cleanly without tearing. A premium mold that lasts hundreds of uses and produces consistent glass-smooth pieces is always more economical than replacing budget molds repeatedly. Number 7. Golden Fluid Acrylics. Golden fluid acrylics are professional-grade acrylic paints in a liquid consistency, formulated with the same high-quality, light-fast pigments as golden heavy-body acrylics, but in a pourable, easily mixed format. A 1-ounce bottle runs $10 to $16. The advantage over craft-grade acrylics is Golden's pigments are light-fast, meaning they won't fade with light exposure over time. The color concentration is significantly higher, and they contain no fillers that extend volume at the cost of intensity. The color consistency between batches also means you can reliably reproduce a specific mixed color across multiple project sessions. Pfaff Creative Icon 2 needle or organ brand needles. Sewing needles are the most underinvested item in most beginner sewing kits. Organ brand needles, the OEM original equipment manufacturer or supplier for multiple sewing machine brands, provide the consistency and sharpness that makes stitches form correctly and prevents skipped stitches, thread shredding, and needle breaks. A pack of 10 runs $5 to $8. The rule experienced sewers follow: change the needle every 6 to 8 hours of sewing time or after every major project, regardless of whether it seems dull. Keeping a needle log, noting when you last changed the needle, takes 5 seconds and prevents the most common unexplained sewing machine problems. Number 9. Beeswax sheets for hand-rolled candles. Foundation beeswax sheets, the honeycomb embossed wax available from beekeeping suppliers, are the starting material for hand-rolled taper candles that require no melting, no temperature monitoring, and no wick centering equipment. A pack of 20 sheets in natural yellow beeswax runs $12 to $20 and produces 20 tapers. The natural honey scent that beeswax emits during burning is a selling point that buyers at markets consistently mention as a reason for purchase. Number 10. Jacquard Procyon MX Fiber Reactive Dye. Procyon MX is the professional dye system for dyeing natural fibers, cotton, linen, rayon, and silk in cold water using a chemical reaction between the dye and the fiber, rather than the surface coating approach of less permanent dyes. A jar of Procyon MX runs $5 to $9 and dyes a significant quantity of fabric at full intensity. The wash fastness is the specific commercial reason to use Procyon over cheaper alternatives. Properly applied and heat set, Procyon dyed fabric retains its color through hundreds of wash cycles without significant fading. Procyon MX dye also works on silk and rayon, which expands your product range into higher value fabric types from the same dye chemistry. Number 11. Clover Wonder Clips 100 pack. Clover Wonder Clips are the plastic clip alternative to pins for holding fabric layers in position for sewing, particularly for thick or layered materials like vinyl, leather, denim multiple layers, and bag projects where pins leave permanent holes. A 100 pack runs $12 to $18. The investment is worth it specifically because Wonder Clips replace both standard pins for materials where pins damage the surface and binder clips, which are too large and imprecise for most fabric applications. They slide on and off the presser foot without catching during machine sewing, which pins frequently do. The clip format also makes it easier to remove pieces from the machine mid-seam without losing position, which pins cannot do safely. Number 12. Sculpey Soufflé Polymer Clay. Sculpey Soufflé is a lightweight matte finish polymer clay specifically developed for earring making. Its low density means a pair of large statement earrings baked in soufflé weighs significantly less than the same pair in standard polymer clay, which makes them comfortable to wear all day. A 1.7-ounce block runs $4 to $6. The surface quality of soufflé baked, a smooth, slightly suede-like matte finish, doesn't require sanding or finishing coats to look professional, which saves significant post-bake production time. The lightweight and matte finish combination makes soufflé the most photographable polymer clay earring material. The surface doesn't create glare under studio lighting. Number 13. Golden GAC 800 Fabric Medium for Acrylic. Golden GAC 800 is a fabric medium that, when mixed with any acrylic paint before application to fabric, allows the paint to flex with the fabric rather than cracking after washing. It specifically reduces the stiffening effect that undiluted acrylic paint creates on fabric. A 4-ounce bottle runs $8 to $12. For painted clothing, painted canvas tote bags, and hand-painted fabric accessories, mixing GAC 800 with your paint before fabric application is what separates a painted product that cracks and peels within 5 washes from one that maintains its color and flexibility through long-term use. The mixing ratio is 1 part GAC 800 to 1 or 2 parts acrylic paint, which keeps the color intensity while adding the flexibility the medium provides. Number 14. Arteza Real Brush Pens. Arteza Real Brush Pens, markers with a genuine brush tip that responds to pressure in the same way a real brush does, delivering broad strokes with heavy pressure and fine lines with light pressure, are a supply that beginners consistently discover as the tool that unlocks brush lettering, watercolor-style illustration, and coloring techniques without the learning curve of loading a brush from a paint pan. A set of 48 colors costs $22 to $30. The real brush tips are genuine brush fiber rather than felt or foam, which means they respond with authentic variation. The 48 color set includes a range of neutral and skin tone colors that are specifically useful for illustration rather than purely decorative lettering work. Number 15. Washi Tape from MT Masking Tape, Japan. MT brand washi tape, the original Japanese masking tape brand from Kamoi Kakoshi, the company that invented decorative masking tape, is distinguishable from lower quality washi tape alternatives by its paper quality, its adhesive performance, and its precision of printed patterns. A roll of MT washi tape runs $3 to $6. The specific quality differential: MT tape tears cleanly, adheres correctly to most surfaces without bubbling, repositions without leaving adhesive residue for the first several removals, and holds its pattern registration through the full length of the roll without the pattern drift that cheaper washi tape shows. The pattern precision of MT tape also means that geometric and striped patterns align correctly across overlapping strips, which budget tape with registration drift cannot achieve. Number 16. Tombow Dual Brush Pens. Tombow Dual Brush Pens are a water-based marker with 2 tips, a flexible brush tip on one end and a fine point on the other, that are the industry standard for hand lettering, brush calligraphy, journal illustration, and graphic design. A set of 10 runs $12 to $18. Individual pens run $2 to $3 each. The brush tip has the correct spring and flexibility for brush lettering, returning to its original shape after each stroke rather than remaining bent from pressure, which cheaper brush pens do after minimal use. The fine point tip on the opposite end of the marker is used for precise detail lines, outlines, and adding small text without changing tools. Number 17. Staedtler Mars Plastic Eraser. The Staedtler Mars Plastic Eraser is the standard professional eraser in illustration, technical drawing, and paper crafting communities, a white vinyl eraser that lifts graphite and colored pencil cleanly from paper without smearing, without tearing paper surfaces, and without leaving the pink rubber residue that standard erasers leave. A single eraser runs $2 to $4. It seems like a modest supply, but the specific quality difference, an eraser that removes marks completely on the first stroke rather than smearing them across the surface, matters every single time you use it. Having the Mars Plastic Eraser as your primary eraser from the beginning means your paper surface stays clean and undamaged throughout a project. Number 18. Whole Bean Acrylic Gouache. Whole Bean Acrylic Gouache is a water-based opaque paint that bridges the gap between acrylic paint and traditional gouache. It dries to a velvety matte finish with full opacity on both light and dark surfaces, like gouache, but is water-resistant after drying, like acrylic. A 20 milliliter tube runs $6 to $10. For product photography backgrounds, flat lay backgrounds, and illustration work where a flat, matte, fully opaque result is required, acrylic gouache produces results that neither standard acrylic, which dries slightly glossy, nor traditional gouache, which reactivates with water, can match. The matte finish also photographs exceptionally well for product photography backgrounds with no light reflection to manage during the shoot. Number 19. Fiskars 45mm rotary cutter replacement blades. The replacement blade for a Fiskars 45mm rotary cutter, available in packs of 5 for $12 to $18, is a supply that most beginners buy too infrequently. A rotary cutter blade that has cut more than approximately 15 to 20 yards of fabric is measurably dulled, requiring more cutting pressure, producing rougher edges, and occasionally skipping cut sections rather than cutting cleanly. The specific signs of a dull blade are drag in the cut, visible threads at the cut edge rather than clean fiber separation, and the need to make a second pass. A pack of 5 replacement blades kept on the workbench eliminates the decision delay about whether a blade is dull enough to justify replacing. Number 20. Dritz Seam Ripper, Ergonomic Handle, Quality Blade. The Dritz Ergonomic Seam Ripper is the one sewing supply where the quality differential between a $1 tool and an $8 to $12 tool is immediately and consistently felt in use. A quality seam ripper has a sharp, fine point that slides under thread without catching fabric, a blade that cuts thread on first contact rather than sawing back and forth, and an ergonomic handle that doesn't cause hand fatigue during extended seam ripping across a full garment or quilt project. The ergonomic handle specifically reduces the grip fatigue that accumulates when ripping long seams across a full garment or quilt project. Number 21. Liquitex Professional Pouring Medium. Liquitex Professional Pouring Medium is the formulated acrylic paint additive for fluid art and pour painting, reducing paint viscosity to a pourable consistency while maintaining color strength, preventing cratering, and controlling cell formation when combined with a small amount of silicone oil. An 8-ounce bottle runs $10 to $15. The advantage over mixing paint with water or generic silicone oils is that Liquitex pouring medium is specifically pH balanced to prevent long-term cracking and delamination in the dried pour, which cheaper alternatives and water dilutions cause over time. The formulation also prevents the color separation and uneven mixing when paint and medium haven't been specifically designed to work together. Number 22. Speed Bell Super Black India Ink. Speed Bell Super Black is a carbon-based waterproof drawing ink that produces the richest, deepest black available in a liquid drawing ink, significantly darker than standard drawing inks and fully waterproof after drying, allowing watercolor washes to be applied over inked line work without bleeding. A 2-ounce bottle runs $7 to $10. For inked illustration on watercolor paper or mixed media surfaces, the waterproof property is essential. A non-waterproof ink bleeds brown when watercolor is applied over it, ruining the clean line and wash effect that botanical illustrators and hand-lettered greeting card makers specifically work towards. A 2-ounce bottle lasts many months of regular illustration work because the high pigment concentration means very little ink is required per line. Number 23. Kona Cotton Solids, Robert Kaufman. Kona Cotton Solids by Robert Kaufman are the quilting cotton standard, a 100% cotton quilting fabric available in over 300 solid colors with a consistent tight weave, a smooth hand, and a reliable, predictable shrinkage rate. A yard runs $8 to $12 retail. The reason Kona is worth the premium over budget quilting cotton is the tight weave means seam allowances don't fray excessively, the color range means you find the exact shade you need rather than compromising, and the consistent quality between dye lots means colors you buy months apart match reliably. The consistent hand and weave of Kona also makes it easier to press seam allowances open neatly, which directly affects quilt block precision. Number 24. Copic Sketch Markers. Copic sketch markers are the professional illustration standard for alcohol-based markers used by manga artists, concept designers, greeting card illustrators, and commercial illustrators worldwide. An individual Copic sketch marker runs $8 to $10. Sets range from $30 for a small selection to $400 for a full set. The specific properties that justify the cost: the alcohol-based ink blends seamlessly between colors without streaking, producing smooth gradient transitions. The nibs are replaceable rather than permanently fixed. The ink is refillable from 12 ml refill bottles, and Copic's color system is precisely calibrated so colors blend predictably. Copic's refill system means a favorite color never permanently runs out. A single 12 ml refill restores a marker to full capacity multiple times. Number 25. Royal Talens Amsterdam Acrylic Ink. Amsterdam acrylic ink, A concentrated, highly pigmented fluid acrylic in dropper bottles is a supply that straddles the line between ink and paint and is specifically useful for alcohol ink-style pours on non-porous surfaces, resin, Yupo paper, glass, for drip effects, for fluid lettering, and for creating custom pigmented water for dipping and marbling. A 30 ml bottle runs $7 to $10. The concentration is the specific value. 1 or 2 drops of Amsterdam acrylic ink can tint a significant volume of water or medium to full saturation without diluting the medium's properties. The dropper bottle format gives precise control over how much ink is released into a medium, which is essential for tinting without oversaturating. Number 26. Renaissance wax for finishing leather and wood. Renaissance wax is a microcrystalline wax originally developed for museum conservation that provides a protective, low-sheen finish on leather goods, sealed wood surfaces, clay sculpture, and mixed media work without the yellowing that beeswax finishes develop over time. A 200 ml tin runs $18 to $25 and lasts years of regular use because such a small amount is required per application. For leather wallets, journals, and accessories that are sold and used daily, the Renaissance wax finish protects the surface without changing the leather's natural patina development over time. A single application takes about a minute per piece, and the protective finish remains effective for 6 to 12 months of regular handling. Number 27. Masters Brush Cleaner and Preserver. The General's Masters Brush Cleaner and Preserver is a solid soap specifically formulated for cleaning and conditioning artists' brush bastles, removing acrylic, oil, watercolor, and resin from brush bristles that soap and water alone cannot clean completely. A 2.5-ounce tin runs $8 to $12. Paintbrushes loaded with quality hairs and bristles cost $8 to $30 each. A tin of Masters brush cleaner used consistently after every painting session extends the usable life of those brushes from months to years. Working the brush tip into the wet soap surface and rinsing under warm water is the full cleaning process. No soaking or harsh detergent required. Number 38. Heat and Bond Ultra Iron-On Adhesive. Heat and Bond Ultra by ThermoWeb is a double-sided fusible adhesive sheet that permanently bonds 2 fabric layers together when ironed, used for no-sew applique, bonding decorative elements to fabric, and creating stiff fabric pieces for die cutting. A yard runs $4 to $7. The Ultra designation specifically means the bond is permanent and wash-fast, suitable for laundered garments and accessories. The standard version, not Ultra, produces a bond that can be stitched through for further reinforcement. The Ultra version creates a bond firm enough for purely adhesive applications. The Ultra version is specifically what you need for applique on laundered items. The standard version's bond weakens with repeated washing. Number 39. Winsor & Newton Professional Watercolor Tubes. Winsor & Newton Professional Watercolor Tubes are the benchmark professional watercolor product, produced to artist-grade standards with high pigment concentration, genuine pigment rather than dye-based color, and a gum arabic formulation that produces the smooth, controllable flow that make professional watercolor painting feel different from student-grade alternatives. A 5 ml tube runs $7 to $12. A set of 12 runs $80 to $110. The 5 ml tube format also means you can build a collection of individual colors tailored to your specific subject matter rather than buying a set with colors you'll never use. Sakura Micron Pens, Pigma Archival Ink. Sakura Micron Pens, fine-tipped drawing pens with archival, fade-resistant, waterproof pigment ink, are the standard pen for hand-drawn illustrations, hand-lettered cards, pattern tracing, and any drawing or writing application where permanence and precision matter. A set of 6 in graduated tip sizes 005, 01, 02, 03, 05, 08 runs $12 to $18. The Pigma ink is specifically designed to be chemically stable for archival use, resistant to fading under UV exposure, which matters for any artwork that will be displayed or reproduced over time. The archival ink also means any original artwork you scan and reproduce as prints will match the original drawing color faithfully over time. Number 32. Primo Polymer Clay, Sculpey. Primo by Sculpey is the polymer clay most consistently recommended by experienced clay artists for its flexibility before baking, strength after baking, and the range of effects achievable through clay conditioning, blending, and technique. A 2-ounce block runs $3 to $5. The conditioning process, kneading the clay until it's smooth and pliable, takes 3 to 5 minutes for a fresh block, and itself is a satisfying tactile process. Number 32. Speedball Mona Lisa Metal Leaf Adhesive. Speedball Mona Lisa Metal Leaf Adhesive, a slow-drying, water-based size, the technical term for metal leaf adhesive, is used to apply imitation gold, silver, and copper leaf to paper, wood, resin, and fabric surfaces. A 2-ounce bottle runs $5 to $8. The slow-drying window is what distinguishes this adhesive from quick-dry alternatives. Mona Lisa size remains in its tacky working window for 30 to 60 minutes after application turns clear, allowing you to apply leaf in sections and achieve full, even coverage without rushing. The slow working window is the specific reason professional gilders specify Mona Lisa size over craft store alternatives for any multi-section gilded surface. Number 33. Elmer's Glue All Max. Not school glue, the original Max. Elmer's Glue All Max, the heavy body version of Elmer's not the standard school glue formula, is a stronger, more water-resistant PVA adhesive with a faster set time and better gap-filling properties than standard school glue. A 7.6-ounce bottle runs $4 to $6. For papier-mâché, bookbinding, and decoupage work that requires genuine structural adhesion, Glue All Max outperforms school glue because it cross-links more fully during drying, producing a harder, more durable bond. The cross-linking property of Glue All Max also means it's sandable when fully dry, which is relevant for papier-mâché surfaces that will be painted. Number 35. Tulip One-Step Tie-Dye Powder. Tulip One-Step Tie-Dye Powder is a pre-measured fiber reactive dye specifically in powder form that mixes directly with water in the supplied squeeze bottles, producing reliably vibrant wash-fast color in 100% cotton fabric without the separate soda ash pre-soak that standard fiber reactive dye requires. A complete kit runs $15 to $25. The one-step designation refers to the soda ash being pre-incorporated into the powder formula, which simplifies the process meaningfully for beginners while producing professional level color intensity and wash fastness. The pre-incorporated soda ash also means the dye fixes correctly even when left for the minimum recommended 8 hours before rinsing. Artist Loft Canvas Gallery Wrapped 1.5-inch Profile. Gallery wrapped canvas with a 1.5-inch side profile, the thicker profile that allows the painting to hang on the wall without a frame because the wrapped canvas itself reads as a complete finished object, is worth investing in over standard 3/4-inch profile canvases for any artwork intended for sale. Gallery wrapped 8 by 10-inch canvas runs $5 to $9. 16 by 20-inch runs $12 to $18. The thicker 1.5-inch profile canvas also stretches more taut across its bars, producing a more even painting surface than thinner profile alternatives. Number 36. Fiskars Fingertip Craft Knife. The Fiskars Fingertip Craft Knife, a unique handle design where the knife sits in the hand like a pencil held at the tip rather than like a handle gripped in the fist, provides precision control for intricate paper cutting, detailed stencil work, and paper craft applications where a standard barrel grip craft knife is too imprecise. It runs $10 to $14. The handle design places the blade tip at the natural extension of the fingertip rather than at the end of a cylindrical barrel, which means the cutting path more closely follows the natural direction of hand movement. The fingertip knife is specifically recommended for any paper cut project where lines curve frequently and the direction changes many times per centimeter of cut. Number 37. Quick Clip binding tool for quilters. The Quick Clip by Taylor Seville is a small ergonomic tool for closing quilting safety pins through multiple layers of a quilt sandwich, where the tip of the tool creates leverage against the backing fabric to close the pin without bending at an angle that causes wrist strain. It runs $7 to $10. Hand pin closing a full-size quilt through 200 to 400 safety pins is one of the most physically straining repetitive tasks in quilting, and the Quick Clip reduces both the time and the physical force required per pin significantly. For anyone who makes and sells quilts, where the quilt sandwich pinning step happens before every quilt is completed, the Quick Clip pays for itself within one project. Number 38. Artist Loft Vicky Bouton Mixed Media Gesso or Golden Artist Colors Gesso. Gesso, specifically the American Crafts Vicky Bouton Mixed Media Gesso or Golden Artist Colors Gesso, is the white primer applied to canvas, wood, paper, and mixed media surfaces before painting to create an absorbent, toothy surface that paint adheres to properly. A 4-ounce bottle runs $6 to $10. The specific reason to invest in quality gesso over DIY alternatives or craft-grade gesso is professional gesso formulations have calibrated absorbency and tooth that allow controlled paint handling. Applying gesso in 2 thin coats with light sanding between coats produces the most workable surface for any subsequent painting technique. Number 39. Swarovski Crystals Hot Fix for Embellishment. Swarovski Hot Fix Crystals, small glass rhinestones with a heat-activated adhesive backing applied to fabric using a hot fix applicator tool, are the embellishment supply that demonstrates the quality differential between handmade and mass-produced most immediately to a buyer. A pack of 144 SS16 Swarovski Hot Fix crystals in crystal clear runs $8 to $14. The specific visual difference between Swarovski and budget rhinestones is Swarovski crystals have a precision-cut facet structure and an internally reflective coating that produces a genuine sparkle effect under the same lighting. A single pack of 144 crystals covers a significant amount of embellishment work and stores indefinitely without degrading, making it an economical purchase. Number 40. Heat Transfer Vinyl Sicer Easy Weed. Sicer Easy Weed is the heat transfer vinyl most consistently recommended by experienced crafters using Cricut and Silhouette cutting machines for its ease of weeding, removing the negative space after cutting, its reliable adhesion to fabric at standard heat press and home iron temperatures, and its durability through washing. A 12 by 36 inch roll runs $6 to $10.